All right, hello, welcome everybody back to Son of Man. This is the channel where we are looking for Son of Man here on earth and seeking the kingdom of heaven. Today we're going to do that by diving into the way of love in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, a short but a very powerful message. And you've probably seen this message or part of it hanging on a wall somewhere. You probably heard it during a marriage reception, but it is a classic denotation of what love is, that Christ's love that we are really seeking to have as Christians. And if you're not a Christian believer, that's okay. I thank you for tuning in here today, because we are going to look at practical ways in which we can apply these ways of love, this way of love, to our lives. And if you're having problems in your relationships, you're having problems with your partner or your family members, or just in the community, or just in life in general, you're just an unhappy person like me, this way of love is going to help you step into that Christ love, which is going to bring you out of there, and not only bring you out of that funk that you're in, but it's also going to open you up so these opportunities, these blessings, these miracles will start to happen, rain down upon you left and right. And I'm living proof. If you watch my blog, you will know that when you are acting out of this love, when you are practicing the way of love, everything just seems to go your way. And when you are acting bitter and the opposite of love, things just seem to go haywire. So let's dive right into it. So if I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and have all knowledge and have so much faith as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. And if I give away all I have and offer up my body to be burned and have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist in its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they shall pass away. As for tongues, they shall cease. As for knowledge, it shall pass away. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. For now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known. So now faith, hope, and love abide, these, but the greatest of these is love. Woo! That's a powerful message. So verse number 1 is talking about the rhythm of life, which is love. And if you are out here preaching, you're out here teaching the gospel, you're out here trying to convert people over to Christianity, you're trying to share what are you trying to share exactly with them? You're trying to share love, the love of Christ, okay? And so if you're doing any of that without love, you know who you are if you're watching. That you are not, you're being hypocritical. You have no integrity in your words. And I'm the king of hypocrites, don't get me wrong. There's been so many times where I've been out there riding my bike with my wagon, and I got the ministry sign, and someone I mean, this is a daily occurrence for me. I don't know why, but someone will always yell some kind of derogatory thing at me. It happens nearly every day, believe it or not. And sometimes I lose it, and I yell back at them, "Screw you!" Meanwhile, I've got the "Jesus is the way" on the back of my cart. Now, how do I look in that situation? I look like a complete arse. I look terrible. And that's how we look if we're not coming from a place of love. So that's why I'm doing this 40-day challenge here, because I really need this way of love instilled in me. And preaching like this, it helps me just repeat it over and over and over until it just becomes second nature in here. So verse number 2 is talking about you're given all of these gifts, all these spiritual gifts. You're so smart, intelligent, wise, knowledgeable, understand all these mysteries. People even say you're prophetic. You know, I know what they're talking about. But you have not love. You have so much faith so as to remove mountains, but you have not love. And so, how did you remove that mountain? If you remove that mountain by cracking the whip and by making enemies, that's not sustainable. And as soon as you pass out of the equation, people are going to put that mountain right back. If you move that mountain without thinking, well, I'm moving this mountain, I'm doing it because I love everybody and I'm doing it from a place of love. If you're not doing it for that, it's going to get put back where it's supposed to be. And then everything you've done will be for nothing. And you are nothing. You have nothing. All that wit and all that power and all those gifts are a waste if you're not using them with love. Verse number 3 is talking about sacrifice. And I can relate a little bit to this because if you know a little bit about this channel, a little bit about my story, I gave up all my possessions to show my devotion for Jesus. I offered up my body as a human instrument for Jesus, and my dogs as well, as like a little living sacrifice, and they're still alive. But I put them in mortal risk and danger. I put myself in danger, and I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a credit card. I didn't have a savings account. I didn't have any money, but I did it anyway. And when I first started out, I was naive, and I thought, I even delivered a message when I first started in my ministry. It was the world is doomed to succeed. That's because I had not tasted how cold it was, and it had not left such a bitter taste in my mouth, but it eventually did. And when it did, I would go out on my journeys, my little adventures here, and I would be a human guinea pig before the world. God was using me to see how the Christian community was treating the homeless, how the society was treating the homeless, and it left a bitter taste in my mouth. And then things got worse from there, because that bitterness became like a aura that would just surround me, like a dark cloud was following me, like I had the plague or something, and people would avoid me, especially on those days where it was raining, days like this where it was like cold and miserable, and I was miserable. Nobody would stop to help me because I wasn't coming from a place of love. I wasn't worried about who I could love or who I could help. It was all about me. Me. Who's gonna help me? And people can see that. They really can. So I gained nothing until I started meditating on love and realizing what I was doing was out of I didn't have love, and it really messed me up. I could have gained so much more. Not that I didn't gain a lot, because I was acting in partial love, so I gained something. But if I would have acted in complete love, just imagine what the miracles that would have happened. Miracles did happen, don't get me wrong. So he goes on to talk about how love is patient and kind. It's not envious or boastful. It's really laying out a roadmap to love. And when you're in these relationships with your partner or your family members or society in general, or like I said, that relationship with yourself, you got to turn back to this little page here, this little chapter, and just go over it and get that in your head, that it is not envious or boastful, because we all get irritable with our loved ones. We all get resentful of our loved ones. And it's so important to recognize when that is happening, that you are driving a wedge. You're not making it any better. So true love is kind of like a blanket. I vision it kind of like that, where it encapsulates everything it covers, and it doesn't matter who the person is or what the person's done or their past or their future or anything like that. It just covers them, free of judgment. Love is eternal, because all the other anything opposite of love is just not sustainable. And if you look at the animal kingdom, even reptiles have a degree of love, and us as mammals, we have more love. We have more love to give. We love not only our children, we love them not only for a little while, but we love them forever and ever. We love our parents. We love our extended family. We love our community members. We love people that we've never even met. And that is the magic of being a human being. And so when you're not acting with this love, you're really depriving yourself of being a human, in my honest opinion. And I'm guilty of it just like everybody else. I'm guilty of it every single day. But in the end, if you're not a species with love, you're not going to make it. And if you're not a person with love, you're not going to make it. You might live to be 90 years old, but if you don't have love in your heart, was it even worth it? So I'll go ahead and do a whole message about that. But it's like a skill. It's a muscle. You got to use it or you lose it. It's kind of like a sport. You start with the lower level, self-love. High school, you're learning the sport, learning how to love. And you start with yourself. You start learning how to be gentle with yourself. What hurts you? What makes you mad? What drives you crazy? What makes you happy? And then you practice that with other people. You move on to the college tier, where you're practicing on your partners and your partner, I should say. Sorry, I didn't mean to say partners. We're not. Maybe some of us have partners. Anyway, no judgment here. But then you're loving on your community. But then you get to where you can go to the pros and you can love your enemy. And there's really a great magic and power behind loving your enemy. I'll do a whole message on that coming up real soon here as part of my 40 Days of Love. But he says we're looking at the world like we're looking into a dimly lit mirror, which that means we're looking at everything and it's backwards. It's distorted. And when we learn this complete love, this Christ love that Paul is talking about, it's going to be like looking at everything the way it is. And the more we step into this, the more we practice it, the clearer life is going to get, and the clearer we're going to see things. And that is seeing this world for what it is, a beautiful, wonderful creation. Every person, every animal, every rock, every tree, every drop of rain. I mean, if you can learn to look at life like this, and this is not original, and if you want to know who this came from, just message me. But if you can learn to look at, take your baby, your newborn baby, And the way you look at your newborn baby, imagine that for a second. Now, you take a blade of grass and you look at that blade of grass with the same love and admiration as you would that baby, your baby. And that is the complete love that we're talking about here. When we come to understand that we are more than just this flesh, we are more than just this mind, we begin to make that separation and that connection with the separation from the flesh and mind, that connection with the spirit. That's that complete love. Love is the greatest of these. You know, abide by these, but the greatest is love. And what he's talking about is, if you have enough love, you really don't need faith or hope. That love is enough. That love is going to create faith. That love is going to create hope. But if you got faith and no hope and no love, it's no good. And if you've got faith and hope, but you got no love, then it's all for nothing. And to be quite honest with you, if you think you got faith and hope, but you don't have love, then you probably don't have faith or hope either. So work on that love. Love is a superpower. It is what connected Jesus to the kingdom of heaven, and it's the reason he was so divine. It was that love. That love is what makes Jesus divine. It's what we all seek after. It's why everybody appreciates the guy. And when I started into my ministry, I'll be honest with you, I didn't think Jesus was divine. I didn't think God was real. I thought it was all in my head, and I was going to prove whether it was true or not. And I proved that I proved for a fact that God is real and Jesus is real. And when you practice the way of Jesus, the way of love, these great miracles happen and just never stop. And it's a beautiful thing. It makes me cry. And then when I step out of that Christ love, boy, things get so hard. And so today I'm standing before you and I'm asking you to give the way of love a shot. You know, give it a try. If nothing else is working in your life, if you're not feeling good all the time, if you're waking up angry every day, kind of like me, try this way of love, because day number 2, okay, like I said, I got PTSD and I wake up every day and I'm mad. But I woke up today after meditating on this for about 5 days, and really just for the last 3 days getting into the way of love here. I didn't wake up mad. I woke up and I was happy. I had a song in my heart. And that was a beautiful experience for me, because I don't taste that very often. So, you know, give it a try. If you're skeptical of Jesus, I understand. But I want you to rest assured, if you give this way of love a shot, there will be no doubt in your mind the divinity and the reality of the Son of Man. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining me here live. If you want to help spread the love, guys, just give me a like, give me a subscribe. You know, if you want to help support this channel, support my ministry, support me riding cross country with my dogs, delivering the word of God to people, if that's something you're interested in, I'm going to leave a link in the description there. What else was I going to say? I can't remember right now. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful evening. God bless you, and please step into this Christ love. Share it with somebody today, and it's going to change your life. It's going to change their life. It's going to make you feel so good.